Welcome back, everyone. This is Seafood Dr. Jim Bentley. I want to go over focus mitts. This is really important because focus mitts, and the way you feed focus mitts, a feeder will make a great fighter. A bad feeder will ruin a good fighter. It's really important to be a good feeder. One of the key things you want to think about too is these have straps. The strap you want to have on the inside. Some of the straps are pointed, and you don't want those on the outside of the focus mitt, because then you could scratch somebody with it. So especially if you have tie pads or some kind of a pointed thing. So typically that's why we have that on the inside here. When we feed focus mitts, they always rest here. So they never leave this place unless we're trying to get my partner, to our fighter, to be fed something. So for example, if I wanted to feed like a jab or a cross, I bring it up like this. Another really important thing is never put it here, because you're going to hit yourself when they hit your mitt. So crazy to to think about, but it happens, and you have to learn the hard way. So take my advice, don't learn the hard way, or learn the hard way, and you'll know that I was speaking the truth when I told you that. So bring it up like this. The other key thing is that it's okay if I have, say, this footwork and I feed off of here, but now with a power punch. If a powerful punch or a series of 3 punches come in, I want to do it off the rear side. That way I can turn with it. My body can turn with it. So you want to think about your safety as a feeder. If I do it on this side, take a power punch on this side, I can't turn. I'm going to hurt myself. So if I take a power punch here, I'm going to turn my body here. So I take it on the rear leg. So the back and forth like this. If I'm feeding cross here or jab, same thing. If I'm feeding a hooking punch, if it's body hook here, my rib level, if I go head hook, it's going to be here. Now, I don't feed it up here, I don't feed it down here. It has to be at my head level in a guard position. So I want to feed, I'm teaching my fighter to fight somebody with my body structure. So I'm going to put it here at my head level in a sunk rooted position. If I'm doing a body, that's going to be here. So same thing if you're fighting a taller person, you can feed them appropriately for the person they're going to fight. But you just want to think about that too. And if I'm doing an uppercut, I want to have it here. If I'm doing an uppercut, I want to make sure that this is locked in and my shoulder is a hinge. I don't want this to be the hinge because it'll come up and hit me. I want this to be the hinge so it comes up like this. Also, if I'm going to do overhand and I'm feeding it like this, remember this position here as this, I ducked underneath the punch and it's coming up. So that's going to be the elevation of this uppercut. An overhand is going to be the back of my head like I'm going in for a takedown. So it's going to be here. And again, when this one comes in, now this is my hinge joint. So I can let this go. So really important. I'm going to have the coaches come in and they're going to demonstrate some things. First, I want to have Coach Noah come in. And I'm just going to demonstrate how to meet a punch. So if I don't want to jam the punch, or I'm going to hurt their wrist, elbow, shoulder, or hip, or worse. So what I mean by that is when I lift this up and he takes a punch, I don't want to push in and jam these digits. So I could hurt anything along this kinetic chain. Remember, we train to fight on the streets. That's what Wing Chun is. So we don't typically use a lot of hand wraps or MMA gloves or things like that. You can, that's perfectly fine. But in lieu of that, even with those things in, people still get injured if you're not feeding correctly. The other thing is I don't want to rob them of the punch, of the feeling of getting the punch, because the feeling of getting the punch is actually very therapeutic. So when he punches, I don't want to go away like this. So then he feels like he didn't get the punch. So what I want to do is I want to meet the punch and then go with the punch, with the energy. So what I mean by that is I bring this up and I come with it. So if he's going to add some power into that, and then I come back. So I just go back with the power. So as he feeds, and I come back. So go ahead and follow through with that. So see how I met it? He felt like he got the hit, but I didn't get injured. He didn't get injured, but he got the satisfaction of getting the hit. With my hand up like this is as if I put my head here. So if he punches with this hand, like this is like my head's being here. So when he punches, I slip it, and he punches here. So where this is at is mimicking where my head would be. So again, that really ties into the elevation of where I want these focus mitts to be. If I'm not going to put it up here, if I'm dodging like this. If I'm dodging like this, I'm going to put it here to mimic where he would find my head. So if I put it here for that punch, and then I put it here, so that's mimicking this side-to-side thing. So just so you know. Next up, we're going to have the coaches take over. So now I want to introduce Coach Laura and Coach Noah. They're going to go through attack with combination number 6. We're going to do it 2 ways. We're going to do it the normal way with an out-tech and Muay Thai cut kick. That's the first section right here. So we're going to start with a out-tech, cross, body hook, head hook, cross, and Muay Thai cut kick. Great. Now we're going to add in Tek'S, 2 elbows and 2 knees. And again, this is in our online curriculum, so you'll see it a lot there. And we go through everything in great detail. So first we're going to start with the lead Tech, then a cross, body hook, head hook, elbow, elbow, knee, knee, and then a rear Tech. Perfect. Thank you very much.